A very good morning, class 11. In today's session, children, I'll be telling you about the shapes of subshells and their orbitals. So before I proceed with this, children, let us quickly recall that what are the various quantum numbers which helps us in finding the shells, subshells and orbitals. So the information about shells we get with the help of principal quantum number, and about subshells we come to know with the help of azimuthal or subsidiary quantum number, and about orbitals we come to know with the help of magnetic quantum number. So, and the last one is spin quantum number, which simply tells us about the spin of the electron inside the orbital. So first of all, there is a term known as nodal surface or node. What is the meaning of this term? It means, or it describes the region inside an atom and outside the nucleus where the probability of finding the electron reduces to 0. That is, it is almost nil. So this particular region is known as node. Now coming to the first subshell, that is S subshell, which has only one orbital. It has only one orbital. With the help of the formula, these things I have already discussed with you, that how many orbital each subshell has. So children, the first subshell, that is S subshell, has only one orbital, and the shape of that orbital is spherical, as you can see here. Okay, spherical shape, which is symmetrical shape, and it is unidirectional orientation. Obviously the spherical shape is unidirectional in its orientation. The density of the electron cloud is maximum at the surface of the nucleus. That is, the surface of the nucleus is maximum. It has maximum aggregation of the electron. It has no node, and the order of size and energy is in this way. As you proceed from first shell to the fourth shell and so on, the size and energy both goes on increasing. This I told you in my earlier sessions or lectures also. Now coming to the p orbital, the main thing to remember here is its unidirectional nature and its spherical shape. P orbital has a dumbbell shape. What is a dumbbell shape? Dumbbell, boys must be very well aware of this shape. This is known as a dumbbell, and because it helps in bodybuilding, and it is known as dumbbell. A dumbbell appears like this roughly. So children, p orbital appears like this. It has two lobes. Okay, that means it has two lobes. And also one very important thing, if you remember, p subshell has how many orbital? P subshell has 3 orbital, because for P the value of L is 1, the azimuthal quantum number is 1, and the various orbitals are -1, 0, 2, -1, 0 and 1. There are 3 possible orientations for P subshell. This means that there are 3 p orbitals whose axes are mutually perpendicular, designated as px, py and pz, depending upon on which axis the two lobes lies. The 3 orbitals are equal in size, shape and energy. Very important point. They have same size, they have same shape and same energy, but their orientation is different, because their orientation depends upon the axis on which it lies. It can be, if one is on x, then the other is on y, and the third one will be on z. So they are mutually perpendicular to each other. P orbital contain two sections called lobes. These lobes touch each other at the nodal plane or node, as you can see here. This is just an example of 2, means we are in second shell. Okay, even if you don't mention this, it will be okay. So this is px. You can see that there are 3 axes. One is x, y and z, and all the 3 axes are perpendicular to each other. You can see here, and this is a mathematical concept. You must have done this in statistics, and when you learn to draw the graphs, when you try to depict something in 3 dimensions, we show x, y, z axes which are mutually perpendicular to each other. So children, basically there are 3 orientations possible for P subshell. So first is the two lobes are lying on x axis. It is known as Px. Okay, and then the second is shown for y, where the two lobes are lying on y axis, so it will be known as py. 2 here simply indicates the shell number. There it is not necessary to mention it. I have taken an example of second subshell here, okay, because 1p is not possible, which will come to know later on. And then comes pz, where the two lobes lie on the z axis. So I hope now it is clear that the magnetic quantum number tells us about the orientations of the orbitals. Okay, magnetic quantum number, first information that we get from magnetic quantum number is the number of orbitals, and then their orientations can also be found with the help of magnetic quantum number. So according to this magnetic quantum number, there are three orientations possible: -1, 0 and 1. You cannot specify that this is -1, this is 0 and this is +1, but there are three possible orientations around the three axes: px, py and pz. And if you remember, I told you we indicate it with the help of three boxes. Okay, to make it simple, we show the electrons in these boxes, which we designate as orbitals, and this is -1, 0 and this is +1. But their actual orientation is like this, which is not possible to show in each and every question. When the question is asked to draw the shape, then only we show this kind of representation. Now again, when we talk about the order of size and energy, this is size which is hidden here, size and energy, the fourth p will be maximum in size, then comes 2p and 3p and then 2p, and then 1p doesn't exist. That I'll tell you later on why 1p doesn't exist, or you can also think of, because if you have seen these sessions till now properly, you will be very easily be able to find out that why 1p couldn't exist. Fine. Okay, so this is the order. Now coming to d orbital. D orbital, I told you about the shape of d orbital earlier also. The shape is double dumbbell. Double dumbbell means one dumbbell and the other dumbbell. So when there are two dumbbells, children, there are 5 possible orientations, which again we come to know with the help of magnetic quantum number. So for d orbital, the value of L is 2, and when we substitute the values here, it will be -2, -1, 0, 1 and 2. So 5 d orbitals are possible. Okay, and d orbitals are dumbbell shape, except for dz square. It is an orientation, children, dz square, which has a shape of donut. Okay, which is like a shape of donut or baby soother like shape. Okay, and rest appears like double dumbbell. So these are the various orientations. Now the 5d orbitals are designated as, please do remember this, children, whatever designations I am telling you, you need to remember that. For p it is px, py and pz, and for d it is dxy, because we will be covering two axes at a time, since you can see here there are 4 lobes, unlike p orbitals: dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square minus y square and dz square. These are the 5 orientations which are possible. Okay, and now we have to see that how do we depict the shape or the geometry of d orbitals. So you can see here, children, you can represent the 3 axes like this. Okay, suppose this is x, this is y and this is z. The 3 axes are perpendicular to each other. Now you have to represent the first orientation. What is the first orientation? The first orientation is dxy. Whatever you want, you may take dxy. When I talk about dxy, it means that the two dumbbell will lie between x and y. So one will touch the x axis like this, and the y one will be like this, touching the y axis like this, and this one is dxy. Okay, now moving on to the next. if suppose again we have the three orientations like this is x, this is y, and this is z. Now and this time we are taking d, y, z. So we have to cover y and z axis. So this will be y and this will be z axis. We never show the lobes in this case overlapping the axis, but they lie in between the axis we are talking about. Okay, anyhow it will be touching all the three axes. Okay, then coming the third one, which is dzx. Again you can see, if suppose this is x, this is y, and this is z. Okay, so this time children, you need to see that we will be plotting dxz. Okay, these two combination, this combination was left. In case of dxz, you will be covering up first of all the x-axis. What will be the x-axis? X can be this one. Okay, and then coming to z-axis, the z-axis is this one. So these are the three orientations covered. Now coming to the fourth one, the fourth orientation is, so again children, we will make the three axes like this, and this is known as, the next that we are about to plot is dx square minus y square, the fourth orientation. Now in this thing children, in this particular orientation, what happens, the lobes lie on the two axes which are mentioned here. First is, you can see x is mentioned here, so you will mention the x square like this, and second is y, you will mention the y like this. Now this is very simple to plot. This is dx square minus y square. Now the last is dz square. So in case of dz square, if suppose again I draw the three axes like this, this is x, this is y, and this is z. This has a shape of donut or the baby soother shape. In this what happens, one this dumbbell lies on any one plane, like this, and the other keeps on spinning on the other axis like this. You can see it appears like a donut with a ring in the center. Okay, and this is known as baby soother shape, and this particular orientation is known as dz square. So children, these are the 5 orientations for D subshell which is possible. First one is dxy, second one is dyz, third is dxz, then dx square minus y square, and dz square. So please do remember these 5 orientations. We will be needing it in class 12 also to understand very important theory, that is crystal field theory. So please children, do remember these. It is not very difficult to remember, and I told you the method also how to remember. When you have to plot x and y, you will be considering x, the two lobes in between x and y. Obviously it will be touching z, you cannot skip that, but you have to remember this, that on one side it must touch the axis which is mentioned here. Okay, and similarly you will plot this, and similarly you will plot this. Okay, it is not very difficult, and you do not have to learn anything, you simply have to understand. So first of all, this S subshell is spherical, and then comes the P, which is dumbbell, then D is double dumbbell except for the last orbital, which is baby soother shape. Okay, so these are the various orbitals of D subshell which I have mentioned here, but you need to follow that, the diagram which I told you right now. Now let us learn to differentiate between orbit and orbital. What are the various differences between orbit and orbital? Because this is also a frequently asked question in your exam. So children, I would expect you also to answer with me. Think of the differences between orbit and orbital. The first difference is very simple. The first difference is orbit. How do we get to know about orbit? What is the quantum number which tells us about orbit? It is principal quantum number. It is principal quantum number. The information about orbit comes from principal quantum number, and the information about orbital comes from where? From magnetic quantum number. The number of orbitals we get to know with the help of magnetic quantum number. Then orbit is what? Orbit is fixed circular path. Orbit is fixed circular path. Keep on writing with me, children. Fixed circular path around the nucleus. Fixed circular path around the nucleus where the probability, fixed circular path around the nucleus, not the probability, where the electron revolves. Okay, where the electron revolves. It is the fixed circular path around the nucleus where the electron revolves. And what is orbital? It is what? It is a three-dimensional space around the nucleus. It is the three-dimensional space around the nucleus where the probability of finding the electron, is maximum. So these two differences, I hope it is clear. This information you know, this also you know. The definition, if it is asked, orbit are the fixed circular path around the nucleus where the electron revolves, and orbital what? These are the three-dimensional space around the nucleus where the probability of finding the electron is maximum. Third, you can say the shape. The shape is circular, and it has different shapes. It have different shapes like spherical, as in case of S, like dumbbell, okay, which we learnt right now, etc. Okay, then coming to the maximum number of electron holding capacity. The maximum electrons in an orbit can be calculated with the help of 2n square. And in case of orbital, I told you one box can hold 2 electrons. So the maximum electron in case of orbital will be equal to 2. It is designated as K, L, M, N, etc. And it will be designated, the origin of it is S, P, D, F, because when we know about S, P, D, F, then only we will be able to write about orbital. So children, I hope the differences are clear. If you can think of any more difference, you can share it with me. I'll tell you whether it is right or no. Otherwise, this much is enough. Okay. So I hope children, today's lecture is clear. We have covered maximum portion. Now I'll be telling you about few important principles and rules that we will be applying, which will help us to know about the filling of electrons. And then the most important thing is the writing of electronic configuration. Okay, that I'll be taking up in my later lectures. So for now, children, listen to this video properly, and in case of any doubt, please tell me. But I'm telling you, the concept of shape is very simple. Okay, the concept of shape is very simple. Wherever you find difficulty, I'll suggest you to please pause the video and then reverse it and again watch it. Okay, and still if you are finding any difficulty, you can contact me to clear your doubt. Thank you, children.